This is episode 51 of the Battle of Ohio podcast. There's still not a lot of substance to talk about in the world of football right now, but that didn't stop social media from absolutely blowing up in the AFC North this week. Our main topic of discussion this week is going to be on the Browns' semi-cryptic billboards on social media that sort of leads to a lot of speculation about what they could mean. And the Bengals had a pretty quiet week until news broke today, which is Monday that we're recording this. News broke of the arrest of one of our defensive linemen. So it's a little bit of a. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but we'll talk about it. So we'll get into that briefly, and finally, the Steelers seem to be gearing up for another season of Urinating Trees, popular YouTube series, Days of Our Steelers. It's a good series, and I'd recommend checking it out because it's funny. But it was originally a series produced on the Steelers' epic locker room meltdown in 2018, obviously as a parody off of Days of Our Lives. But I could see it making a comeback with this current crop of young players. And I think you know which ones I'm talking about. Because why, Thomas?
Because apparently the Steelers still suck.
Because the Steelers still suck, that's right.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Today I am drinking an Urban Artifacts gadget. This is actually a fruit beer. It's actually very popular. It's a very popular fruit beer. Urban Artifacts is actually a really good brewery.
What's in the sour?
I had it. No, the fruit. It's more of a fruit than a sour. No, it does have some sour in it. Yep, it is a fruit and sour beer. I have a lot of descriptions on it. Talks about how it's designed. It had 8% alcohol in it.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. It's really nice. Actually. Yeah, I know. Not bad. It's not bad. It's a little tart, but not bad at all. Hey, 8% alcohol.
Personally, I've never been a big fan of just like fruit-based beers unless they're sours. If they're intended to be sours, and then I can get really into that. But not so much as just like I don't necessarily want to sit around and just drink a sour, like just for the sake of drinking a sour, like just like drinking beer. I'm not necessarily so much into drinking sours for the sake of drinking beer. It's more like one of those things that you have with your dinner and it makes the rest of the food taste really good.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thomas is eating some sort of pasta while we're recording tonight.
My mom makes this really good pasta salad.
Pasta salad? Yeah, that sounds awful.
She only make pasta salad 5 times a year, and her pasta salad just is so good.
Well, like, I'm glad you like her pasta salad, but
look at it. They got like salad. She put ham in it. She put different types of meat in it, and all kinds of crumbled cheese and stuff in it. It's so good.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
It's irresistible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Me, I'm drinking a Harp Lager, which I was gonna say I think it might be produced by Guinness because of like the heart logo or the Harp logo, but then I thought about it. No, it's Harp Lager, so of course they'd have a Harp logo. So that's dumb. I don't know who this is produced by. It's apparently produced in Dublin though. I like lagers.
Dublin.
Lagers are
Dublin, Minnesota.
Drinking beer. Yep, that's a lager. That's a lager. Nothing special to say about it. It's good. I like it. It's a lager. It's very good lager too. I'll probably get this again. All right.
Kyle loves the lagers. Oh, can I say something real quick about this? Like I know it's off topic, but you hear about the guy, the goalie for the Blue Jackets?
What happened to him?
He died from a fireworks accident. 24 years old.
Oh no!
That just happened yesterday. Really? Yeah. Montes Keller Benenix died from fireworks accident. Medical examiners say.
Oh no.
He was in a hot tub. When he tried to get out, he slipped and fell on his head. Oh my God.
Oh, that is. I'm sorry to hear that. Best wishes.
Yeah.
Mattis I'm not trying to be disrespectful here. It's very difficult to pronounce last name. Mattis Kivlenix, I think. Best wishes to Mattis Kivlenix family. That is unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yes, he's so young. He's so young. I mean, some things are bigger in sports. I mean,
yep.
And the fans of Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't know how big he was to the team or not, but that don't take away the lost life that happened here. So,
oh, absolutely not. I mean, I don't follow hockey. I don't know anything about any of it. But as a 24-year-old kid who died from a fireworks accident, do that.
I really just want to pay my respect to him and his family. So that's just me saying. Yeah,
absolutely. I don't really know how to transition away from that, but I guess the only way to do it is to do it. So I guess let's go ahead and start with the. Hey, actually, you know what, Thomas?
I can always put that in a backup podcast, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, actually. Just go ahead and edit all of this stuff out, and and at the end of the podcast, bring up that thing and just be like, this is we'll do like a little tribute to him. I don't want to do that at the beginning of the podcast though, because then it's just gonna bring everybody down.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. All right.
That's not like a plan. Sorry.
So to start today, I think we're gonna start with the Browns billboards are really fun to talk about, but I think that to me that's like the part to really, listen to in this episode. So I think let's go ahead and start with Darius Hodge, the Bengals edge rusher, who was arrested for an assault that happened, an assault charge from 2019. Now, first of all, we got a new cat and it's meowing from the other side of the door. Freya, it's okay. It's okay. Chill. Relax.
She wanted to meet you, man.
Podcast right now. Meow, 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 meow. Relax.
It's such a loud meow.
Do what?
It's such a loud meow.
Oh my God, that sounds so pathetic and sad too.
Dang, she really wants your attention.
Well, yeah, but if I let her in here, then I'm not gonna she's gonna be here for the whole podcast. I'm not gonna be able to get anything done. I'll be out there. Oh my! She's reaching under the door and she's like, "Help me! I want in!" I like, God.
She just want to chill with you.
Yes, but I can't do the podcast with her like crawling all over everything.
Here's the thing though. See, like you always talk about you being a dog person, but all your team is being a cat team. Well, now you got a cat to match your cat teams.
Yeah, but I'm still a dog person. Like, to be honest, I still like Bork better. Bork isn't either like Freya. This cat is either like super cold, doesn't want anything to do with you, or she's like all over you. You have to pay attention to me now. Bork the dog is just like he's cool, man. He understands like, hey, I would like to hang out with you, but I see you're doing something that's cool. I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit. And when you're ready, you can come pet me. The cat's just like, I'm in charge. Screw you. Makes it very difficult to get anything accomplished. Now it's Connor's cat, not my cat. My stepson Connor. It's his cat, but he's not here like right now because my getting way too much into my personal life. Basically, Connor's not here, and so the cat's really gravitating towards me and Kayla, and it's adorable, but goddamn it, we're going way too long into this. Let's talk about Darius Hodge. It's an unfortunate assault charge for Darius Hodge, because he was already pretty much a long shot to make this roster, right? Like, one topic we were going to make this episode potentially about, and we still might do on like the next episode or something, was just like, best and worst position groups. Well, I don't know if defensive line is necessarily a best position group yet for the Bengals because there's a lot to be proven. But the Bengals spent a lot of resources on the defensive line this offseason. So, I mean, and Darius Hodge is already a defensive an undrafted player. So you're going up against, in addition to the guys who are already on the roster, they also brought in Trey Hendrickson, Joseph Osai, Cameron Sample, and Wyatt Huber. So I'd be pretty shocked if he was going to make the roster anyway. But now it's just like it seems like there's no chance he's even going to get his opportunity to compete. So it is unfortunate for Darius Hodge. However, from the Bengals' perspective, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, he went undrafted probably because he was, he's a pretty undersized player for an edge rusher. And he's not particularly athletic, and he had a lot of poor film against the run game. So they probably that's probably I don't know for sure, but that's probably the reason he went undrafted. But I did look it up. He didn't have any prior issues with legal things or character problems or anything like that. So I don't think the Bengals saw that when they saw that coming when they signed him. But at the same time, it's it's an undrafted free agent, so it's just kind of no harm, no foul. Oh well, sorry, dude. I feel honestly, I feel worse for Darius Hodge here than I feel for the Bengals. And I don't know, maybe who knows? Maybe he really did assault somebody, and maybe he's an asshole and a piece of shit, and whatever. But at the same time, this the NFL is probably this guy's lifelong dream, and it can all be taken away like that.
Yeah. See, I agree with you. You said that you don't think that the Bengals are going to miss him too much from that perspective.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, so I mean,
I imagine he's probably just a camp body.
So that's frustrating because like you said, you see these young players. Most of these NFL players are so young. This guy right here was just a rookie? This is first year in the NFL?
Yeah, so, undrafted free agent.
Yeah, so you're still trying to prove yourself anyway.
Right.
And, well, see if the assault charges were 2019, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. So I guess this has been something that's been under investigation for a while. I mean, it just seems weird that you get arrested for an assault from years ago. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can be arrested for later on, but decking a dude, I don't know about that.
That sounds weird, but that sounds weird. But either way it goes, I don't know. Maybe he might get a second chance depending on how good he is. But that's just unfortunate that that's what ruins your NFL career. Or before you even get started, the main biggest league.
Like I said, I don't really think he was going to get a chance to make the Bengals roster anyway. But coming in and being part of training camp, and the hope is that maybe you can get in and get a couple of reps and put some film out there for other teams to be like, hey, well, there's whatever the Bengals saw in this guy when they brought him in as an undrafted free agent. Here's more evidence of that. So here's another, maybe somebody else will give him an opportunity to come in. But if his assault charge sticks, I don't think anybody's going to try to bring him in. And even if it doesn't stick, this is probably going to set him back to the point where he might not get any reps with the Bengals.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, man. That's unfortunate how quickly these things can just go away.
Yep. So let's move on to something a little less sad, which is speculating about what the hell the Browns are on about. Like I said, this is the Browns are pretty active on social media this week, posting pictures. I think 2 different pictures of a billboard that just said July 24th. So obviously they're trying to trump up the date, July 24th. They're going to do something on July 24th. So a lot of people are speculating as to what it could possibly be. I'll let you go first, Thomas, since you're the Browns fan. Do you have any different ideas about what it could be?
I Nick Chubb has come out with a new cereal.
Didn't he already come out with one?
Yeah, I know, but why don't you come out with a second one? Come out with a second.
Yeah. The Browns are going to put a whole social media post about that.
My first thought was training camp possibly because that's probably gonna be around the time training camp starts. But why did they need to hype up training camp? So then I kind of realized that wasn't training camp that the billboard's about. They're hyping up something different. And the popular theory is a uniform change or the new uniform?
The alternate uniforms that they announced.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people think is a new alternate uniform or a 75th anniversary uniform. Because as we know, the Browns have a 75th anniversary. Maybe they're gonna throw some big concert, or maybe here go a theory, a really good theory, because this is coming up. It's almost time for that stadium to get renovated, and they've been talking about it for a minute. I still think that we're about 6 years out before we start to see the stadium start to be renovated. But maybe, just maybe, the Haslams are moving in a little bit earlier on these stadium renovations, and they're going to announce plan to renovate the stadium on the 24th. That's a far-fetched idea because that stadium's going to get renovated. Either they're going to build a new stadium or they're going to renovate that one. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we're still 5 years out from hearing about that. But that's just a thought because I know that's coming. I just want to let everybody know that the Browns. I can't wait for our next stadium. That's what I'm personally excited about. But that's another story for another day.
That's an idea. The one of the thoughts I had of what it might be is, like you said, training camp's coming up. Now, training camp, for the first time in NFL history, training camp for all 32 NFL teams is actually starting at the same time for everybody this year. So it's July 27th is when training camp is happening.
Yeah.
So my thought process was, well, maybe they could be planning some sort of before everything kind of gets started events, because now that a lot of the COVID restrictions are lifted, maybe getting the fans together and, meeting the team and interacting, kind of in a way like the Bengals have kind of been doing with their social media team and, a lot of, more popular fans, kind of like when we did the uniform release and fans got to come hang out and get their pictures taken in the new uniforms and stuff like that. But that was my first bit of speculations because that's what I associate with the date July 24th is that's almost when training camp starts.
Yeah.
But you're right. Most likely what it is, the primary speculation is that they're going to release the alternate uniforms on July 24th. And I mean, just in reality, that's almost definitely what it is. I mean, anything else just seems kind of weird and speculative and almost kind of ridiculous in comparison to that. It's almost definitely the hold on, I can't deal with this cat. Hold on.
It's so funny because it keeps on me yelling. I'm just sitting here just trying to act like it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. But you hear it. You
hate
hear
cats.
Hate
cats. This cat is going to drive me up a wall.
Oh, I'm not cutting that out. I'm not cutting that out. That's too funny.
I hate you.
It's too funny.
Okay, where was I? Okay, so the uniforms. It's most likely. You said it's probably the uniforms. That's what it probably is. It's probably the goddamn uniform. Hey, the cat stopped.
I'm sorry. You got me to take a compose myself because that was hilarious. It just kept on me yelling yeah. She was so loud.
She was, and now she's just like here's the thing. I walked out the door, okay? I opened the door, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And the cat just runs away, and I'm like, "Really? That whole time you were just meowing for the sake of meowing for no reason, other than probably just to piss me off."
You're like, I hate cats, man. I hate cats.
I hate cats.
And your team's called the Bengals.
You are not seriously doing that shit again.
Oh, it's so funny.
Get out of here. We're about to have some Chinese food tonight, Thomas. Okay, so let's get back on track.
Oh, I'm crying.
Probably the alternate jersey reveal. Wouldn't really make sense if it was anything else. The only other thing that I saw that I wanted to point out was I like on the Browns' main post about the billboard and the date and everything like that. I saw a guy by the Twitter handle of @AverageJoe_15 said maybe that's when they're re-signing Josh Gordon. So you never know, Thomas. You want to talk about strong position groups? Well, that wide receiver group would be popping if Josh Gordon stays on the field.
Hey man. If the Browns brought back Josh Gordon, I would not be mad about that. I think if he were to go anywhere, he'd go to Seattle. I think Seattle really likes him.
Well, he already went to Seattle. It didn't work out.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it didn't work out. I just say that, like his problem with doing PEDs didn't work out.
I'm not sure it was PEDs, Thomas.
No, it wasn't PED, but like didn't he do something? He did something that wasn't weed. I can't remember what it was.
Was it? It might have been something. It might have been something harder. I mean, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
From what I understand, he's had a lot of different drug problems, not just weed.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, I mean that really sucks about Josh Gordon. Like, he had so much potential, but to keep things light and try to stay on topic a little bit here, I don't think the Browns are going to be re-signing him on July 27th July 24th, and I really severely doubt they would start putting up billboards to announce pre-announce a month ahead of time signing Josh Gordon. I thought that was funny and I wanted to point it out, but I don't think I think anything other than saying that it's the alternate jersey reveal at this point is probably just like stupid and a joke. It's
yeah.
Now, who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe they'll do some sort of big concert about it. Maybe they'll do some sort of big celebrity reveal who comes on and they do something like I don't know, does Cleveland have a Cleveland Square or something like that?
A Cleveland Square?
Madison Square, Cleveland.
Oh, no, we have we have Public Square. It's where
maybe Jim Brown will come out to Public Square and he'll start doing the Jim Brown shuffle. And then it'll be like, here's the jersey for the Browns the way they looked in 1964, but we're going to do it again in 2021.
You don't understand Cleveland at all.
No, I'm not from Cleveland. I don't know. I'm not from Cleveland.
Like, all right, he'll come in. What happened is they have Jim Brown come to Edgewater because Edgewater's popping right now. Edgewater has been a lot of fun right now. Edgewater is like the beach off of downtown. It's really nice right now. We got a lot of attention. Excuse me.
So you think you think he's going to come to Edgewater and do the Jim Brown?
No. I think they're just going to reveal uniforms. Let's be realistic. Like, I don't think all that.
No, that's what I'm saying. We just and announce the uniforms. That's what I'm saying.
We just had an NFL draft here. We just had the Jonas Brothers performing in Cleveland for the 4th of July for some odd reason. Like, why? Like, all right, welcome to Cleveland, Jonas Brothers.
Maybe the Jonas Brothers are going to reveal the jersey.
The Jonas Brothers, though?
Yeah.
Like, these in Cleveland just chilling. Like, hey, what's up? We're the Jonas Brothers. We're going to do a 4th of July concert in Cleveland. Like, they had a free-ass concert in downtown Cleveland. Like, for no reason. Just random. Like, yeah, we're just going to do a free concert. I guess Nick Jonas played the son of one of the characters in Hot in Cleveland. So I guess, because of Hot in Cleveland, they decided to do it. I don't know.
You couldn't pay me to go to a Jonas Brothers concert.
I'll go to a Jonas Brothers concert.
I've
been to the year 3000.
All right.
Not much has changed, but they live underwater.
What?
But your great granddaughter is the
What
fine.
on earth is that a Jonas Brothers song?
Yeah, it's 3000. It's their most famous song that they stole from some British guy.
I don't know. I knew this one. I knew this girl in high school who was really into the Jonas Brothers. It was like one of my best friend's sisters. And she was really obsessed with them, and that's like the extent of my knowledge on them. Like one of them had curly hair, I think.
They're alive in Cleveland for some reason.
I don't know.
Let's go to Cleveland and see the Jonas Brothers live. Yeah. Yeah, right next to the Brown Stadium too. They did a concert right at the spot that they did a concert right at the spot at the spot where they had the NFL draft. Look, a lot of people were there too. Right outside the Rock Hall of Fame.
Yep.
A lot of people were there.
So, yeah, unfortunately, not really a whole lot else to talk about. It's that time of the season when you've got virtually absolutely nothing going on. And we've been saying this for the last couple of weeks on the Battle of Ohio podcast. There was with the Bengals, I can't remember if we mentioned it on the last episode or not, but there was some analyst, I don't even remember who it was anymore at this point, but they basically said Zach Taylor has got, I think that they either said like top 5 hottest seats in the National Football League for like a head coaching job. If not, they might have said that he has the hottest seat. Or maybe they just called him incompetent. I actually forget what it was. And honestly, I should probably check. I should probably look that up.
I mean, like, I don't think Zach Taylor's gonna get fired next year. I still think that we're gonna see. I think we'll see Mike Tomlin lose his job before we see Zach Tomlin lose his job. I'm not just saying. I honestly, yeah.
Okay, so basically, it was Michael Lombardi. Wasn't he with the Browns?
He was, unfortunately.
Yeah, Michael Lombardi basically said that Zach Taylor is not qualified to be the head coach of the Bengals.
Well, I mean, Michael Lombardi is not probably qualified to be a general manager, but that's not here or there.
Well, Michael Lombardi, I'm not sure he's qualified to talk about who's qualified to be in the NFL. But I mean, that's kind of like Mike Tannenbaum trying to talk about the things that he doesn't really know anything about. That's why you're not a general manager in the NFL anymore. But I mean, I don't like it doesn't really make any sense to me because like he's definitely not the least qualified coach in the NFL if he's already been a head coach for like the last 2 years. So I mean, there's guys who have never been a head coach in the NFL before who are head coaches right now who just haven't done it yet because the season hasn't started. Those guys are probably less qualified. Now I guess before he got the job, he seems like he was pretty unqualified, but he's not the first guy in all of NFL history to go from being like a position coach to being an NFL head coach. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a weak thing to say, honestly, because like, is Zach Taylor's seat hot? It probably is. You know, if the Bengals have another kind of like tank of a season, I do think Zach Taylor's probably going to get fired at the end of the season. I don't think he's going to get fired mid-season, but I do think he's going to get fired at the end of the season. If the Bengals have another, again, tank of a season, if things go really badly. I don't necessarily think things are going to go really badly this year, so I don't think he's going to get fired. And then, like, are we going to be saying he's the least qualified head coach in the NFL again next year, even though they had a good enough year for him to keep his job. I just think it's a silly thing to say. And honestly, I'm kind of sad that we're even giving it airtime right now, but that's how little we have to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think that Zach Taylor's seat is going to be. I think Zach Taylor is in the same position that Baker Mayfield was in last year. If you remember last year, Baker Mayfield was on a hot seat, but there was a lot of things that was out of Baker Mayfield's control that went wrong. And that is a similar thing that's happening. I think that the Bengals with Zach Taylor, I think they're going to be fine. I think that Zach Taylor's going to have. Zach Taylor. Look at that game. I just turned the game that he had a lot of impressive wins the last couple of years. I understand under a lot of horrible circumstances. 2 years ago, y'all won some games y'all probably shouldn't have won that he was able to coach y'all up to win. I know y'all ended up getting the number one pick, but there's still flashes there with a team with practically no talent. Last year,
we won 2 games that year.
Yeah, hey man, better than going 0-16.
Well, I never thought they were going to go 0-16. There were some Bengals fans out there that were just like, things are so bad. Just go 0-16 for the sake of going 0-16. And some people are saying they're bad enough to go 0-16. I always thought that was kind of ridiculous.
But I think next year though, like last year, even still, the team still took step forward last year, even though the whole injury of Joe Burrow, you can still see the team improve from last year and the year before last. From giving the Ravens a hard time to beating the Steelers, keeping the Steelers from routing, just keeping the Steelers from going downhill, beating the Steelers with Ryan Finley of all people, getting that team fired up, making sure that they have the right plays in play. He's not a bad coach, man. He's not a bad coach. Y'all deserve to give him at least another year. And I really think that this year that he could. I think he's going to shine this year. I think that he got Joe Burrow in another year in the system. Joe Burrow likes him. It seems like the locker room buys into what he's saying. The Browns don't have a track record of firing people, not being too they're very rational about firing when to fire people. So I don't really see the logic here on why he would even have a hot seat. I think plenty of other people who probably have a hot seat before him. I don't think he was fired. I think if anybody will get fired, it's the coach in freaking Dallas, McCarthy. He can get fired. They fire him yet?
No, they haven't fired him yet. But again, it's the same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing with Zach Taylor. I think it's going to require a really bad season for either of these guys to get fired. And I do think if the Bengals have a bad season, it's probably I might be down with firing Zach Taylor at that point. If things don't work again this year, then yeah, I think it's probably about time to hit the reset button again. But I don't think things are going to be that bad this year. We'll see. And if things continue to be bad, then I'll change my tune. But right now, I've seen too much progress so far. I don't think it's gonna quite go in that direction.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into the rest of the AFC North.
Oh yeah.
So there was almost virtually nothing to talk about for the Ravens. So like I said, this was originally going to be the position group episode. So I just figured let's talk about the Ravens' best position group. Which is obviously their running backs. You know why?
We got Lamar Jackson.
Because they got J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson. No, but
J.K. Dobbins is beast though.
J.K. Dobbins is great, but seriously, I'm not sure if I really love quote unquote any of the Ravens position groups. They have some good position groups, but they don't really seem like they have a lot of greatness on their roster right now. And they also don't seem like they have a lot of depth in key places. The most impressive one, I think, right now is their defensive line, even though they lost Matt Judon. But they got a starting 4 of Derek Wolfe, Brandon Williams, Calais Campbell, and Pernell McPhee. which again doesn't exactly like jump out on the screen like oh my god, they got those 4 guys like, but that's a solid defensive line, and probably expect a little bit more out of that group than you would like of the Bengals group, for example.
Yeah, I mean the Ravens are going to be a good team next year. Like this, I mean. I'm not sure they're gonna go deep in the playoffs. I'm not sure they're a championship winning team, but
I'm not
like
even
they're gonna be
playoffs.
Me neither. I think that the Ravens are going to be. I don't know. I think they're going to go. I think they're going to go in a slump. Like they're going to have a beginning of season slump or end of the season slump. But I think they're going to have a slump that's going to be like too hard to dig themselves out of a hole, where they're going to find themselves not making the playoffs, where they're going to be around 500. If they do make the playoffs, they're going to be like 8-9, 9-17, 9-18. I mean,
which I could totally
I see them happen. I'm not saying they're not going to make playoffs because I see them making playoffs, but I don't think it's going to be.
I think that's actually the thing about the Ravens. I think I would be just as. I would be just. I could believe just as much that the Ravens would make the playoffs or miss the playoffs as much as I would that they would make the playoffs. The Ravens are kind of one of those like toss-up teams. I do think they have a decent amount of talent on their roster. I totally think they could make the playoffs. Kind of like the Bengals, like I think the Bengals have to prove themselves first. I think they have to prove themselves more than the Ravens do obviously, but I think the Bengals have the talent to make the playoffs if things go right for them. Just like with the Ravens. I think the Ravens have the talent to make the playoffs if things go right for them. I just don't know how much is going to go right for them because I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I have never been the biggest Greg Roman fan, especially Greg Roman after year one. Like after the NFL starts figuring out Greg Roman, things just typically don't work out for Greg Roman offenses. So that's one reason why I don't necessarily believe in the Ravens. Also, I'm still trying to figure out who Lamar Jackson is. Like, is he a good quarterback or is he not? I don't know. Kind of like the same problem Baker Mayfield was having last year. Is he a good quarterback or is he not? Now, Baker Mayfield came out to prove that he's a good quarterback. And maybe Lamar Jackson does that this year too. But like with the Bengals, it's one of those I mean, you're going to have to show me before I believe it kind of things.
And we all know how I feel about Lamar.
Right. So, moving on to our final topic of discussion, which was kind of the spiritual inspiration for this whole episode in the first place, was the little bit of Twitter drama that the Steelers got on this week. Devin Bush, the linebacker for the Steelers, was trash talking TikTokers today, tweeting, not today, but this week. He tweeted, he said, quote, "If you a grown man and you got TikTok on your phone, stay TF from around me." And Chase Claypool, God, I can't fucking talk today. Chase Claypool retweeted that and said, "Yikes." So, first of all, Chase Claypool didn't need to retweet that at all for everybody else to be like, "Whoa, yikes!" Because I don't know if Devin Bush was intending to do this or not, but you're talking about your entire wide receiver core, bro. You're talking about Chase Claypool. You're talking about Juju Smith-Schuster, whose entire persona right now is the TikTok guy.
They just punished Devin Bush by trading him to the Browns.
Send them to Cleveland to die? Like Odell?
Like Landry and Odell, for that matter. Here's the thing, though. And this is what I find ironic. Is that the Steelers are so quick to make fun of the Browns, right? They're so quick to make fun of our fan base. They're so quick to make fun of our players, make fun of our organization. But it is just so ironic that the Steelers are so afraid to look in the mirror right now. Because currently, the Browns players, the way they have each other's back, obviously, The media is going to have a field day with Odell Beckham. The media is always criticizing Odell Beckham. And they're always criticizing Jarvis Landry. They're always criticizing Baker Mayfield and how these players are acting, and how the Browns players are going to football games and chugging beers, or how the Browns players are making these commercials where they're working out and everything, or how the Browns players are doing this, they should be doing this. We're always insulting these Browns players. We're always insulting Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield. Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield are dramatic. Well, here goes something that Odell Beckham, Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, and Jarvis Landry, Kareem Hunt. Here goes something that since they brought this group together, since Kevin Stefanski went in here, have there been any fighting between those players? Like, at least, like, even if we go back to Hugh Jackson, like, they always had each other's back. The problem when Freddie Kitchens was here wasn't anybody with Freddie Kitchens. It wasn't the players. The players weren't fighting with each other. I mean, obviously it was the Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph thing, but the players weren't fighting with each other. The players had each other's back. They still do. Players are not fighting in the locker room. Our players are being together. Our players have each other's back. Our players have brotherhood. Our players are giving back to the community. Our players aren't getting in trouble.
And yet the Steelers players appear to be disjointed at best.
But we're the trash organization. We're the trash organization, though, right? Really? That your narrative? But you have your freaking linebacker up here sending out hate tweets to his receivers. You got freaking Juju Smith-Schuster pissing off Ben Roethlisberger. You got Ben Roethlisberger getting an argument with coaches. You got players getting arguments with players. You got players in the Steelers literally leaving the Steelers because they do not like the environment and the culture that they're being a part of. Like, we talking like, what's his name, Bell? Why do you think he looks so quick to leave? Like, there is obviously something wrong with the culture in Pittsburgh. Well, and it's so ironic because they would not admit that there's a problem. And it's so funny because it's so blatantly obvious. And since they're the media darlings and they're NFL darlings, the NFL is never going to say, hey, nobody's going to ever hold these people accountable. So Pittsburgh, y'all go ahead and keep on doing this. Because right now, the Bengals and the Browns are coming. So y'all go ahead and keep on doing it because Browns aren't having these problems. This is music to my ear.
I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit on that Le'Veon Bell comment because he was just trash talking to Andy Reid earlier this week.
Yeah, well, he got problems himself, but he still comes from that organization, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it all like I've said before, it all boils down to Mike Tomlin and the way that he chooses to build his locker room, and like supposedly he's always been this great manager of personalities, but like I haven't seen it in like years, dude. Honestly,
I haven't seen it in the last 5 years. They've been seen in the last 5 years. That's what I'm telling you, man. That's why I'm like, that's why I've been saying all year that I believe Mike Tomlin's going to be fired.
Ever since Tim Tebow knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs, it seems like the Steelers have kind of started a death spiral, and it's beautiful, but it just kind of goes to show you like. Well, it doesn't really go to show much of anything. It just means shut up. Like, shut up. Your organization's been irrelevant. Like move on. Quit acting like you're, king shit all the time.
Yeah, seriously.
But honestly, this particular topic of discussion, I will credit. It's probably most likely just dead season Twitter drama that won't matter a damn next month.
I probably won't.
It's just funny because the Steelers wide receiver room basically thrives off of their TikTok videos right now. And like I don't know if this tweet is gonna ever matter ever again, but the general attitude surrounds the locker room is this is just a highlight of the many problems the Steelers have in their locker room, and the fact that like Mike Tomlin doesn't really seem to be trying to get rid of it. He seems to be actually trying to encourage it. And as he said before, letting his players just be who they are, which is a fine strategy, I guess, when your players are upstanding human beings. But when they're acting like children, you kind of have to step in and be an adult in the room. And the Steelers have no adults in the room. The most adult person they have in the room is Ben Roethlisberger, and he acts more like a child than any of them.
Let me say this. Is that I remember in 2018 when the Cavaliers when there was a story about the Cavaliers every single day. And I remember one of the reporters saying, what you hear from the media is just 5% of what actually goes on. So all this stuff that goes on in the back of the locker room is usually like really to itself, right? It doesn't get out to the world. But that the small stuff leaks out. Or like the small stuff, but certain stuff like leaks out to the world. So this is what we're seeing. Imagine what's really going on there. And then, eventually stuff will start coming out. All I'm saying is, man, it doesn't look good for this. That it looks like the culture is broken. It looks like the culture is broken.
You know who the 2021 Steelers kind of remind me of? They kind of remind me of the Freddie Kitchens Browns.
I mean, like, let's be real. I mean, like Devin Bush knew who he was talking to. We all know who he was talking to.
Well, I mean,
Come on, man.
Here's the thing: you don't send out that tweet to the public not knowing what's going to happen. Like, I mean, okay, maybe he's just joking around and like in the background, like Chase Claypool and Juju like hit him up and they're like, "What the fuck, bro? Why are you out here talking trash?" And he's just like, that was funny, wasn't it? And so like maybe it's just something as simple as that. But it really, really feels like the Steelers just have no control over their locker room, and they haven't for years. So
yeah.
I think you might kind of be onto something. I think there might be an even further mass exodus of talent from the Steelers, just because it's a toxic environment.
I think the Steelers are going to collapse this year. I think the Steelers season's over.
I'm kind of surprised Juju came back, but at the same time, I'm also kind of not, because he might be one of the ones instigating a lot of the drama, and actually, just to be quite honest, I'm not really sure he's really worth the amount of money that the Steelers gave him in the first place. So I feel like Pittsburgh's about the only place that is really willing to pay him what he wants to be paid. And actually, on that note, I don't even think they paid him what he wanted to be paid. I think what they did is they let him test free agency. He went out to free agency and realized, oh shit, I'm not worth as much as I think I'm worth. And then the Steelers are like, well, we'll give you some money, and there's probably more money than anybody else was willing to pay him. Because to be completely honest, Juju Smith-Schuster, while a fine wide receiver, is not a number one wide receiver, and he wants to get paid like he is.
No, he's not. He's not.
It kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of when Marvin Jones left the Bengals in free agency, and he's like, "I want to go be a number one wide receiver," and he went to the Lions, and I guess he was the number one wide receiver there, but that's because there was literally nobody else. And now, granted, Marvin Jones was much more respectful in his whole thing, and I have a lot of respect for Marvin Jones. I'm not trying to trash talk Marvin Jones, but I am trying to say that I don't think he was ever really a number one wide receiver. He left the Bengals to be a number one wide receiver. He ended up in Detroit, where he was a number one wide receiver, but because he was the number one wide receiver, they didn't experience a lot of success.
Mm-hmm. Detroit didn't experience a lot of success for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Battle of Ohio podcast, guys. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments, you want to maybe push back against something we said, maybe you're a Steelers fan and you're listening to us constantly trash your team, well, push back, send us up, hit us up. Hit me or Thomas up. We'll have you on the show, and we can trash talk to each other's faces. That'll be fun. We've had a Ravens fan on the show. We've had multiple Bengals fans. We've had technically 2 Ravens fans on the show because you and what's his name? That one guy you went on Instagram. Dante. Yeah, you and Dante went on Instagram and had that Ravens Browns matchup that you guys did, and then we actually had Zach Colgan on the show, who was a Ravens fan. So we've had 2 Ravens fans. We've had a bunch of Bengals fans. I don't know if we've actually had any Browns fans. So step up your game, Thomas.
We'll have more people on here. Don't worry.
But yeah, if you're a Steelers fan and you want to get your moment to like shoot back at us and talk your trash, by all means, hit us up. It'd be good fun, good content. Or if you're just a Bengals or a Browns fan and you want to hit us up, get on the show, we'd love to have you on. We've had a lot of Bengals fans so far, but, let's get some more on. Or maybe we can get a Browns fan on here. That'd be cool too. Or really just anybody you want to come on the show. We'll find something to talk to you about. It's a show for fans, by fans, with fans. So, don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can catch up when we release new episodes. And, we had, like I said on the last episode, we had a little bit of a technical difficulties with releasing the episodes, but things should be getting back going better now and going forward, which was a terrible sentence, but my brain kind of turned off. But anyway, like I said, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find me on social media at KylePhelps92 and Facebook.com/ThePhelps. You can find Thomas on social media at T_star94 on Twitter and Instagram. And he's got a YouTube page called Blowdown Page, which you should definitely check out. Anyway.
New music video coming out.
Do what?
New music video coming out, so.
Yep, new music video coming out. Is that the one that you showed me? Like
the
song you showed me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me a new song that he released, and it's pretty good, so you should definitely watch out for that too. So anyway, thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll leave y'all with a Who Dey.
Go Browns.